He had been dead for 4 days, and Jesus was glad about it. Not glad that his friend suffered, not indifferent to the grief tearing through that household, but glad, and John records it with startling honesty, because what was about to happen would shatter every assumption anyone had ever made about the boundary between life and death. This is not just a miracle story. This is the moment Jesus walks up to the locked door of the grave, knocks once, and the whole universe holds its breath. The town of Bethany sits less than 2 miles east of Jerusalem, just over the Mount of Olives. It's a small place, a village where everyone knows everyone, the kind of place where the smell of bread baking in the morning carries through the whole street, where a family's grief is the whole neighborhood's grief. Mary and Martha live here with their brother Lazarus, and the Gospel of John makes a point of telling us something unusual before the story even begins. It says Jesus loved them, all 3 of them, by name. This wasn't a crowd he was teaching. These were his people. When Lazarus falls sick, the sisters send word to Jesus immediately. Their message is almost unbearably tender. They don't make a request. They don't demand a miracle. They simply say, "Lord, the one you love is sick." John 11:3. That's all. As if love alone should be enough to bring him running. But Jesus doesn't run. He stays 2 more days where he is, and this is where the story starts to disturb us. Because what kind of friend does that? What kind of God, if we're being honest, does that? You cry out and the silence stretches on. You wait by the door and no one comes. If you've ever prayed desperately and heard nothing, if you've ever wondered whether God was listening, you are standing exactly where Mary and Martha stood. You are in the middle of this story right now. When Jesus finally announces that they're going to Bethany, the disciples panic. The last time Jesus was near Jerusalem, the religious leaders tried to stone him. Going back feels like walking into a trap. Thomas, the one history has branded a doubter, says something that is actually heartbreaking in its loyalty. Let us also go, that we may die with him. John 11:16. He doesn't understand what Jesus is doing, but he'll follow him into it anyway. That's not doubt. That's a kind of love that most of us haven't found the courage for yet. By the time they arrive, Lazarus has been in the tomb 4 days. 4 days matters here. Jewish tradition held that the soul lingered near the body for 3 days after death. By the 4th day, it was understood. Hope was gone. The decay had begun. There was no coming back from this. Martha runs out to meet Jesus on the road. She is not weeping quietly. She is not composed. She looks at the man she trusts more than anyone and says what she's been holding inside for days. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." John 11:21. It is the most human sentence in the gospel. It is grief and faith and accusation and love all tangled together. She believes in him completely, and she still doesn't understand why he let this happen. Jesus looks at her and says something extraordinary. "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die." John 11:25. He doesn't say he will give her the resurrection. He says he is the resurrection. He isn't offering a doctrine. He is making a declaration of identity. He is saying everything you've been waiting for, all of human longing for something beyond the grave, it is standing right in front of you, on a dusty road outside Bethany, wearing sandals. St. Augustine wrote that our hearts are restless until they rest in God. Martha's heart had been restless for 4 days. And here, in the middle of her grief, God comes to find her. Not to explain himself, not to offer a theological argument, to meet her. Then Mary comes, and she falls at his feet. She says the same words her sister said. Lord, if you had been here, and here the gospel does something that has stunned theologians and moved ordinary believers for 2,000 years. It says simply, Jesus wept, John 11:35. The shortest verse in the Bible, and possibly the most important. The God of the universe, standing outside a tomb, crying, not performing grief, not demonstrating sympathy from a safe distance, actually weeping. Chrysostom saw in those tears proof that Jesus bore our humanity fully, knowing that he entered our sorrow not as an observer, but as a participant. The Word made flesh meant God took on our tears too. They lead him to the tomb. It is a cave, sealed with a stone. The air around it carries the weight of what it contains. And Jesus says, "Take away the stone." Martha flinches. 4 days, she reminds him, there will be an odor. It is the most practical, honest, heartbroken thing she could say. She is protecting everyone from the reality of what death looks like when it's been left to itself. Jesus looks at her. Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? John 11:40. The stone is rolled away. Jesus lifts his eyes to heaven and prays, not because he needs the power, but so the people standing there will understand where the power comes from. He wants them to see that what happens next is not magic. It is the Father and the Son acting together, reaching into death itself. Then he shouts, "Lazarus, come out!" Origen of Alexandria noted something electric in this, that Jesus called Lazarus by name, because if he had simply said, "Come out," every grave in Judea would have emptied. The power was that specific, that personal. God doesn't save humanity in the abstract. He calls you by name, and Lazarus comes out, still wrapped in burial cloths, hands and feet bound. Face covered, he emerges from the dark into the light, stumbling and alive, and Jesus says to the stunned crowd around him, "Unbind him and let him go." This is not just a command about linen wrappings. C.S. Lewis saw in the miracle a picture of what resurrection always looks like. Not a ghost slipping through walls, but a real body staggering out of death, needing the hands of community to help it walk free. The church is still doing that work, still unwrapping people, still helping the living walk out of whatever tomb has held them. This miracle, St. Thomas Aquinas observed, stands apart from all others because it reverses what death had already fully accomplished. It doesn't prevent death. It defeats it from the other side. And that matters for everything that comes after. Because 40 days from this moment, Jesus will be in a tomb of his own. 3 days, not 4. And when he emerges, it won't be Lazarus emerging. It will be the firstborn of a new creation. Lazarus still had to die again. Jesus came out to die no more. The raising of Lazarus is not just a prevow of Easter. It is God's answer in real time to every person who has ever sat at the mouth of a cave and wondered if love had arrived too late. It is the declaration that grief is not the final word, that waiting does not mean forgotten, that the silence between your cry and his answer is not absence. It is the gathering of something so large that when it moves, even the dead hear it and walk. Whatever tomb you're standing outside of right now, whatever loss has sealed shut with a stone that seems immovable, hear what is being said to you from this story. He sees it. He weeps over it. He has already spoken the word that nothing dead can resist. Your name is already in his mouth. The only question is whether you're ready to walk out of the dark